Warning, the player selections you're about to see may flop miserably. FPL TV cannot be held responsible for any of your own transfer shockers. Please, FPL responsibly.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Point Predictor, the series where I pick 5 players that I think will score 4 points or more in the upcoming FPL Gameweek. Within these predictions, I can only select one player per club, and I must follow the categories shown on screen. If you enjoy the Point Predictor series, then be sure to support the channel by dropping a like and getting subscribed to FPL TV. Before getting into my predictions for Game Week 8, let's quickly look at how my choices from Game Week 7 performed. So 3 out of 5 correct picks last week, with Matt Doherty once again proving to be excellent value for money at Wolves. Elsewhere, Harry Kane returned to form, and lowly owned Raheem Sterling quickly jumped back onto our radars with his 14-point haul. There was no joy for my budget picks in Game Week 7 though, with both Richarlison and Mitrovic blanking during their match against each other. So let's move on to Game Week 8 now, and see who I'm predicting to be in the points this weekend. For my defensive option this week, I've selected United's Luke Shaw. It wasn't easy to pick out a clean sheet from Game Week 8, and this choice came down to picking between a United player or a Burnley one, with them facing Newcastle and Huddersfield respectively this weekend, 2 teams that are really struggling for goals this season. Ultimately, I opted for Luke Shaw over a Burnley player, simply because he's had more attacking output this season, which gives him a better chance of returns, I feel. His opponents Newcastle have produced only 19 goal attempts in the last 4 game weeks, which is rock bottom of the goal threat charts by some way. So despite United being in poor form generally, I think Shaw could be a decent shout this game week. My midfielder under 8 million this week goes to James Maddison. My selection of Maddison this game week simply comes down to his incredible consistency so far this season. The midfielder has now delivered points in 5 of the opening 7 games, including 4 on the bounce, and he has all the stats to suggest he could be in for more points in Game Week 8. Among the midfielders priced under 8 million, he tops the charts for goal attempts with 12 over the last 4 game weeks, and has been heavily involved in Leicester's attacking exploits so far. With Leicester currently on the back of 2 wins, I can see them causing Everton a lot of problems in this home fixture, which could see the consistent Maddison return points again. My midfielder of any price this week goes to the in-form Eden Hazard. I think the Belgian will be a very popular captain option this week, as he faces a Southampton side who are winless in 3 and have only managed to win 1 game so far this season. Although the Saints don't have significantly bad defensive stats, I'm just finding it hard to choose between the other big hitting midfield options like Mane, Salah and Sterling, as they're all set to face each other in Game Week 8. Hazard just seems to be on another level at the moment, and it'll be very interesting to see if he features in Chelsea's Europa League game this evening. If he is to be rested tonight, then there's even more incentive to back the Belgian winger this weekend. For the budget forward under the price of 8 million, I've opted this week for Watford's Troy Deeney. Given that Deeney only boasts just the 1 goal in his last 4 games, selecting him this week is definitely a left field pick. However, his underlying stats suggest he could come good in Game Week 8. During the last 4 game weeks, he's had the most penalty area touches of any forward valued at 8 million or below, producing 8 goal attempts in that time. Granted, he is going through a bit of a dry spell, but 3 of his last 4 fixtures were against United, Arsenal and Tottenham, so not the easiest games on paper. His next opponents, Bournemouth, suffered a 4-0 defeat to Burnley during their last away trip, and Watford have been very impressive at home this season. So given Deeney's promising underlying stats, I fancy him to return some points in Game Week 8. For the forward of any value this game week, I've chosen Tottenham's Harry Kane. For strikers, Harry Kane has had the 2nd most penalty area touches over the last 4 game weeks behind only Aguero, and during this time in the penalty area, he also sits 2nd for goal attempts in the box with 12. With 2 goals against Huddersfield in Game Week 7, and now a well-taken goal against Barcelona in the Champions League, the Spurs hitman is clearly starting to hit some form. And now given this very nice home fixture against Cardiff next, it's very hard to look past him this weekend. His opponents have conceded a massive 14 goals in just the last 4 games, suffering defeat in all of them. This includes conceding 3 to Arsenal, 4 to Chelsea and 5 to Man City. So clearly, they've not fared well against the big sides yet, and could struggle again here away to Spurs. And that wraps up the Game Week 8 Point Predictor. Let me know what you guys think of the choices, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and get subscribed to FPL TV. I wish you all the best for Game Week 8, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all next week.